ये रेडियो पाकिस्तान पॉडकास्ट है।
This is Radio Pakistan News and Current Affairs channel, and I'm your host Ali Jannat with the weekly program Diplomatic Session. Dear listeners and viewers, in this program we discuss bilateral relations, cooperation and other important developments of mutual interest with the diplomats of Pakistan's friendly countries and regional and international blocs. Today in our show, we have invited our special guest, His Excellency, Ambassador of Tajikistan to Pakistan, Ismatullah Nasruddin. We welcome you, Honor, in our show. How are you today?
Fine, thank you. I'm fine.
Thank you very much for your time. Dear listeners, this show is being broadcast simultaneously from News and Current Affairs channel and FM 101 network of Radio Pakistan, Saturday at 6:15 p.m. So we welcome you, Honor, in our show. Firstly, I would like to know from you that Pakistan and Tajikistan enjoy, bilateral relations. How do you see the modern relations between the two states?
Yeah, thank you for the question. Also, thank you for this opportunity to be with you here. Our countries share excellent relations in many directions. I would like especially emphasize that this year we are celebrating 30 years of establishing diplomatic relations between Tajikistan and Pakistan.
All right. So how do you elaborate the relation between Pakistan and Tajikistan in the context of joint commission at state level, especially cooperation in the field of trade and economy?
Yes. I would like first of all emphasize that our political relations can be observed as one of the best in the region. We don't have between our two countries any issues which can be a matter of disagreement. So politically we have excellent relations. Your question is very correct, rightly, because economic relations in the current world are very important and we have to develop them. We have already established our joint commission between two countries, and this year we are planning to conduct the 7th session of our intergovernmental commission. Hopefully it should happen in July this year.
Oh, very good to know. So especially political relations, strengthen the ties in many ways. So what would you like to add in this regard? Are you satisfied with the relation at political level?
Yes, absolutely, because I think the clear evidence is number of high-level visits which our prime ministers, presidents and foreign ministers paid to each other countries. Only one example, our president, Mr. Emmanuel Rahman, visited Pakistan 8 times.
Yes,
for
8
different
times.
occasions. Last time it was June last year.
Yes.
And also in September, Prime Minister of Pakistan visited Tajikistan.
Very good to know. So what would you like to add in this regard, that is, if you discussed earlier that the cooperation between the two states, especially when we talk about trade and economy, your government is emphasizing and focusing on trade and economy and try to enhancing relations between Pakistan in order to strengthen the relation. Do you think that this is the key point to strengthen the relation between the two states?
Yes, it is. It is one of the very important elements, our economic relations. I think it should be mentioned that Pakistan is a very important country in the region in order to provide access for Central Asian states, access to warm water
landlocked
seaports.
countries especially.
Yes. We are even double landlocked country.
Yes.
In this regard, we are interested very much in transit capacity of Pakistan and also in developing our bilateral trade and economic cooperation, and we are doing some steps towards it. I hope in near future we will succeed some better results. So
you mentioned CPEC. So how do you see the CPEC? Pakistan's role in CPEC, and especially if we talk about the BRI. So do you think that this will also provide some kind of assistance to the Tajikistan as well?
Yes, absolutely. Because Tajikistan, we are also one part of this BRI initiative. And CPEC is important project not only between China and Pakistan, but also in terms of regional projects.
Central countries as well?
Absolutely. Central Asia is interested because through CPEC we can be connected to international highways, and also, of course, seaports are very important for us.
Yes, yes, indeed. So the relation between Pakistan and Tajikistan, continues to develop in the religious and cultural spheres. If we talk about, specifically, there is a dedicated philosophy of poet of the East, Dr. Allama Iqbal, is being practiced out there. So what would you like to say about that?
Yes, you're absolutely right. It mentions that we are nations of the same religion, which is very important and which make us closer to each other. From point of cultural ties and cultural and historical ties, you mentioned Allama Iqbal. He is a very well known in Tajikistan.
Yes.
You know that part of his poetry is made in Dari, in Farsi, in Tajik, which is same language. And we even have a section in our Oriental faculty of our national university. And every year we have a festival which called Iqbal Khani.
Wow. That's great. That's great. So, people of Tajikistan, they are taking interest in the philosophy of Dr. Allama Muhammad Iqbal?
Yes, absolutely.
At what context?
In context of his poetry mostly, because his poetry is very close to our ancient culture, to our ancient way of life, and the language which he used. Now it's a very interesting language in which we speak today.
Yes. So, Excellency, in modern era, what is the development strategy of new Tajikistan?
We have some directions of our development, of our economic development, of our international relations.
All right.
One of these directions is industrialization of Tajikistan, because we are currently mostly agrarian country. 70% of our laborers are involved in agriculture.
Yes.
But now we have to convert it more to industrial sector. In this regard, Pakistan is a very important country to share its experience to us, especially in pharmaceutical, in other kind of industries, in textile. Textile is one of the best in the world, most probably in Pakistan. And now we are developing relations between our business circles, between our companies, in order to have this experience from Pakistan in developing our industry.
So in this regard, as you mentioned that Tajikistan is a double landlocked country. So what is the significance and importance of the Afghanistan, our neighbor country, Muslim country? So Pakistan, do you think that is doing a right effort in order to address the humanitarian crisis up there in Afghanistan?
Yes, I think all countries of the region are taking steps in order to support people of Afghanistan. First of all, we are talking about people who are suffering from hunger, from lack of medicine, from lack of good life. Pakistan is a vital country in this region, which has a very big and important role in stabilization in Afghanistan.
Yes.
Not only through the humanitarian assistance, also through assistance to other parts of this country in order to have stable and secure Afghanistan. And of course, even we use capacity of Pakistan in supporting some support to Afghan people in this humanitarian crisis.
So what would be the significance of the Afghanistan in the near future as far as trade and economy is concerned?
It was already mentioned several times, and we can confirm it again, that Afghanistan is a chain, or is a connecting chain between Central Asia and South Asia.
Yes.
Because without stable Afghanistan, we cannot have good trade, we cannot have good relations, because all our routes are going through Afghanistan. And we are as two closest countries, Pakistan and Tajikistan, to Afghanistan. I think we should play a more active role in stabilization in this country.
In this regard, China is, is a main stakeholder. If we see that, as we mentioned about the CPEC and BRI project. So, do you think that China is also China can play a very vital role as far as stability is concerned for the trade and economy? So, China can play a big role in this region as well.
Yes, of course, we consider China as a big power in this region. We know that. Every big power, first of all, has its own interests. But of course, we can, since we all share a very good relations with China, with this big neighbor, Pakistan and Tajikistan and other countries in the region. I think Chinese role is very important, and we're in permanent contact with our Chinese colleague as Pakistanis as well, in order to find solution in this Afghanistan problem.
All right. So OIC Council of Foreign Ministers meeting was held in March in Pakistan. What would be the significance and impact of it?
Yeah. First of all, we should express our thankfulness to Pakistan for hosting not only March meeting, but also meeting at the end of the last year.
Yes,
the extraordinary.
Yes.
And it was a very challenging time for all OIC member countries, but Pakistan generously hosted these two important meetings. Last meeting in March, which you mentioned, was also very important. Almost all foreign ministers of OIC member countries participated in this important meeting. Important decisions were taken, and we hope that implementation of these decisions will also contribute to reach the better situation in Afghanistan, in political, in humanitarian, in economic spheres.
So, Excellency, do you think that after these consecutive meetings, OIC Council, as you mentioned earlier, so do you think that Pakistan rightly put up his point of view in front of the other countries, international community? Do you think that that is the Pakistan right effort?
Yes, of course, because Pakistan, one of the founders of OIC, first of all, it should be mentioned. And with support of Pakistan, we were invited and we were accepted to this organization after getting our independence. And Pakistan is doing a lot through this organization in order to address Muslim community of the world, that we should be united, we should make joint efforts in many issues. Which are in benefit of our countries.
Yes. Dear listeners and viewers, we have today in our show His Excellency Ambassador of Tajikistan to Pakistan, Ismatullah Nasruddin, and we are discussing the bilateral cooperation between Pakistan and Tajikistan. So, Excellency, as investment point of view, Pakistan is providing investment-friendly environment for investors here in Pakistan. What is your opinion in this regard?
First of all, I think we should provide more information to our people, to our business circles, because our main problem in economic relations is lack of information.
Yes.
There are very good opportunities in both countries in order to attract investments to economics of both countries. And our main aim is to provide more information and make it attractive for both countries, for both peoples.
Yes. So, for economic relation, what are the essential import-export items? And as you mentioned that, what are the areas that need to be more focused?
Yes, as I already mentioned, we are importing from Pakistan mostly textile product, pharmaceutical product, some agriculture products. Some years ago, we even imported a lot of cement from Pakistan.
Yes.
But now Tajikistan is the biggest producer of cement in Central Asia.
All right.
Yes. And also some other products are imported from Tajikistan to Pakistan, like dry fruits, some chemicals, and some other items. I think we should focus on very important five, six, maybe even less areas which are in interest of both countries.
So, Excellency, the ratio between import and export items, do you think that it is increasing and enhancing day by day and year after year? What would you like to add in this regard?
Yeah. Unfortunately, we have decreased in our trade turnover.
After COVID pandemic?
Yes, pandemic is one factor. Another factor is changing of type of commodities which we export and import. But of course, there is a big gap in our trade, and I think we have to overcome. We have to use these opportunities. Nowadays, we have this decrease, but it doesn't matter that we are not developing. I think now our business circles are trying to find a new areas of their cooperation.
All right. So, as an ambassador, what role you can play to further enhance import-export activities, between both the countries and in order to strengthen the relations?
Yeah. Our main task here to represent our country, and also to, if I can use this word, advertising.
Yes.
Not advertising commercially, but advertising the face, advertising
morally,
the image, the image of our countries. Same is doing by my colleague in Dushanbe, in our capital. My colleague, Pakistan Ambassador there.
Yes.
I think this is our main task, is to provide more information about each other's country, especially in business opportunities. Because the problem is that we are situated very close to each other, but unfortunately we don't know much about two countries.
Yes.
This is our main challenge.
So there needs need to be work on it. So in order to provide information and awareness about the countries and trade and economic items and all that, as you mentioned earlier, so they need to be more focused on this part of this part as well.
Yes, yes. Especially being here today with you, this is one
forum.
Yes, one forum, one very good platform to provide to our Pakistani brothers. The Tajikistan is very near. They can go there for tourism, for sightseeing, to making business, for some other activities.
So, Mr. Excellency, aren't there any kind of activities from your side, from your embassy, to engage Pakistani peoples to come there, in fact, to come Tajikistan to see the beauty of, to explore the Tajikistan beauty, or to engage some kind of seminars over here?
Yes, we are doing some activities, definitely. First of all, I try to travel to different parts of Pakistan. Not to sit only in comfortable Islamabad and enjoying life, but also to visit different parts of Pakistan, to meet different people, to provide them information. Another important activity, just recently when I visited Lahore, I was a guest to Discover Pakistan channel. And through this channel now we are providing a lot of information about touristic opportunities of our country and also about touristic opportunities of Pakistan, which will be provided by Discover Pakistan and will be broadcasting in Tajikistan TV.
All right, that's a good initiative as well. So people of Pakistan can easily know about Tajikistan and its beauty and beautiful places as well.
Yes.
So this is indeed good initiative. So both countries are member of SCO and other regional organizations. So how Tajikistan and Pakistan can work together for the development of the prosperity in the region?
Yeah. As you are absolutely aware, last year we chaired SCO, and Pakistan also on the level of Prime Minister participated in SCO summit last September in Dushanbe. Tajikistan was an initiator of accepting at the same time Pakistan and India to this organization.
All right.
Because it's very important for us that Pakistan had to be member of this organization in order to address many of regional issues, especially on security, especially on providing mutual support in many issues like fight narcotics, terrorism, extremism, and other new challenges. And now we are working together within the SCO very closely with Pakistan delegation, with Pakistan colleagues in order to address challenges which are addressing normally within the competence of this organization.
So what kind of assistance Pakistan is providing as far as these challenges are concerned to Tajikistan?
Pakistan already for more than a decade provides our law enforcement agencies with many kind of support. The most important is training of our officers in training facilities of Pakistan.
Very nice.
Also, Pakistan is providing a lot of military technical assistance to our bodyguards, to our security forces, to our army. And this is very valuable, and I use this opportunity to express again our gratitude to government of Pakistan and Pakistan colleagues for this assistance and support.
So any kind of assistance from Tajikistan side, vice versa?
No, because unfortunately we are not producing any kind of ammunition or military goods, and mostly we are in need of support from
need to work on it. Yes. All right. So both Islamic countries have identical views on regional and international issues. So what kind of role Tajikistan and Pakistan can play, and as far as Islamophobia and other challenges are concerned, other issues being faced by the Muslim Ummah. So in this context, both countries, what kind of role they can play?
Yeah. As I mentioned during last meetings of our leaders, of our president and Pakistan Prime Minister last June and last September, one of the topics which they discussed between them, it was how to address this Islamophobia, the increasing Islamophobia, especially in Western countries.
Yes.
And the Pakistan Prime Minister, I think he was one of the maybe more enthusiastic initiators of this issue.
Yes.
Unfortunately, not all Muslim or Islamic states are of a big concern.
Yes.
But Pakistan is in different forum tried to attract attention of international community, especially of Muslim and Islamic countries, that this issue should be addressed. Otherwise, one day we will see a very bad situation with our fellows and with our brothers in different countries. And I think now we have agreed to take some actions also within the United Nations to proclaim one day Day Against Islamophobia. And now our two delegations in New York working on it, how to pass this General Assembly resolution.
How Tajikistan see the new government formation, and especially Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and Tajikistan would like to work with the current government, and in this regard, what are the key points that need to be focused and that need to be worked on in order to enhance the relation between the two countries more closely or more impactfully?
Yeah, historically Tajikistan enjoyed a very good relations with all governments of Pakistan. Our approach to this is that we respect any choice of Pakistan people and we are ready to work with any government of Pakistan. For us, the main important issue or main important point is we need stable and prosper Pakistan,
yes,
which will be in interest of all countries in the region.
Yes. And
we hope that Pakistani politicians are quite wise and they will make a very good choice, and we will work with any government which will be in power in Pakistan.
And in the same context, I would like to come again towards Afghanistan. So prosperity and peace and stability, they must be ensured in Afghanistan as far as trade and economy is concerned. So that need to be focused not only Pakistan, Tajikistan. This is not a matter of the Pakistan, Tajikistan and Afghanistan or China. This is the collective effort. Then and all other countries, they must need to work on it.
Yes, I think first of all we should encourage, and maybe we should somehow to assure that in Afghanistan an inclusive government should be formed, because Pakistan is a multinational country.
Yes,
it comprises of different nations, and we have to work on providing some basis and environment on establishing all-inclusive government in Afghanistan. I think after this, Afghanistan can then start its prosperity, its development, and to create a secure society.
Yes. So, Excellency, any message you would like to give to the people of Pakistan on the behalf of people of Tajikistan?
Yes, absolutely. I cannot say on behalf of people of Tajikistan, because only head of state has this power to say on behalf of people, but I can say on behalf of my country. First of all, we wish to Pakistan prosperity, development, further good relations with all neighbors, and I can assure you that my country, Tajikistan, will continue supporting Pakistan in all means, and also will continue keeping this good and brotherly relations with your beautiful country.
And your views about Radio Pakistan, and especially video podcast?
Yeah, I think I was told that this is one of the oldest buildings here in Islamabad after it's becoming a capital of Pakistan. I enjoy to be here. It's a very interesting place, and all the time to meet people who are dealing with mass media. I think it's very interesting for me, and thanks for this opportunity.
All right, Mr. Excellency, thank you very much for your precious time. So, dear listeners and viewers, that's all from today's show and in diplomatic session. Next week we will have with us a new personality, and thank you very much, Mr. Excellency, for your precious time for Radio Pakistan. And the producer of today's program was Asadullah Khan, and video engineer and executive producer Amanullah Sipra. And this show is also available on Radio Pakistan official website www.radio.gov.pk and social media platforms, and Radio Pakistan's podcast at podcast.radio.gov.pk. I'm your host Ali Jannat, signing off from today's program Diplomatic Session from News and Current Affairs channel of Radio Pakistan. Allah Hafiz.
ये रेडियो पाकिस्तान पॉडकास्ट है।